Hello everybody and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play one-shot tabletop RPGs with pace, vim and vigour. And today we're in the most boring town in the world, Hillview in the Null Dimension. But luckily we don't have to stay there because we're playing dimension hopping teenagers with ray guns and hoverboards and we're going slug blasting. We're going to start by meeting our crew. Dope, D-O-P-E. I randomly rolled a crew name and got acronym you figure out later. So we might play to find out what that actually means as we go through. Let's see who the members of Dope are and who's playing them, starting with Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian McAllister from The Giant Brain. I'm a tabletop games critic and podcaster as well. And tonight I'll be playing Caleb, who is... he is the grit of the crew. He likes to do the big tricks, even if they're incredibly dangerous. In fact, the more dangerous, the better, as far as Caleb is concerned. He is dressed in sort of all-out sort of vintage denim. So it looks a bit like something out of a Levi's ad. Has a nice, relaxed sort of family home and is looking forward to doing the best, gnarliest tricks he can.
Fantastic. Looking forward to some gnarly tricks from Caleb. Next up, we've got Becky.
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm playing Stacey, who is dressed in all of her own clothes that she's made herself, which include stonewashed jeans held up with a black belt, not a buckle belt, but an actual karate black belt, which she has tied in a knot at her front. She's got on like a long black sleeve t-shirt, but over the top has got like a netted hot pink net sort of top over that. And bright pink hair in like little buns on top of her head, and is always barefoot. You got to feel the board. I'm playing the chill.
Fantastic. You have indeed got to feel the board. That's probably what they say, isn't it? And finally, Shane.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shane, and I am playing Billy B-Zap Powell. Billy dresses in what he would describe as vintage, but anybody who knows his family would describe as poor person's hand-me-downs. A cerebral kid, Billy brings smarts rather than grit to his skating, and always wearing his slightly battered voidware backpack, which is a strange device made by himself that enables him to pull practically anything out of it.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to finding out more about the voidware backpack. Just while we're here, does Caleb want to tell us about those cool sneakers you've got on?
Yeah, they look vintage, but they're like sort of like faux old kind of things. They're Rift Ninja sneakers. They can sort of like bend space and time around them. And the mod that he's got installed on them is the anti-nega friction outsole. So he is frequently seen running up walls, hanging upside down from the ceilings, causing trouble in gym class, that kind of thing.
Of course. That's good. Nice Americanism there with gym class as well. Our viewers across the Atlantic will appreciate that, I'm sure.
Professional.
That's Becky, what's your kinetic deck like? I think you've got an item too, haven't you?
Yeah. So Stacey's got a kinetic deck, which is, pretty standard, other than the fact that it can break physics completely. So the little mod that they've got on there as well is that they can slow everything down. So nearby enemies and objects better beware.
Fantastic. So in Slugblasters, our crew go out on runs, usually to other dimensions, obviously. That's what Slugblasting is. And do cool things. You might spray your tag on an ancient mecha in the Golden Jungle, film yourself skating on the half-constructed M-train tracks, or try to hunt down a wild math panther for a selfie. It's all good, as the kids probably still say. This is going to be a great example of just how down with the kids all of us on this game are. So feel free to comment below just how gnarly and bodacious our slug blasting terms are. We're all experts in skater culture, as I'm sure our viewers will discover in the next couple of hours.
Played Tony Hawk's extensively.
Yeah, about 30 years ago, I played Tony Hawk's a couple of times. That's about it. Fantastic. So Dope has just been on one such run. You've been into Prismata. Prismata is a vast dimension of light and near infinite energy and raw material sources, which has been exploited by a large number of companies to provide the stuff for other better off dimensions. You've been to the Hardecker mining facility, to be exact. You broke in, snuck past the sentry bots and the miners there, and have found the central steam where they shoot their promo videos for the mine, and you've just sprayed your tag all over the Hardecker logo. Your socials are going mad at the moment. Instagram, Facebook, Friends Reunited, whatever they have in these in this slug blasting universe is absolutely going mad. It's all good, which almost takes your mind off the fact that an alarm has started to sound. You're in sort of big cavern, if you like, with chiseled out areas and a few bits of machinery around. There are some escape chutes that you sort of half planned to use as your actual escape route out of this mine to the thin zone where you can hop back to null. As the alarm sounds, those are starting to shut. And just round the corner from where you entered, there's a swarm of virus-riddled nano mining bots. Sorry, not nano, just mining drones. Sort of flying saucers about 2 feet across, equipped with powerful, if inaccurate, mining lasers, are beginning to go and eliminate the threat that they've detected in their mine as lasers rip up the stonework near to you. You're going to have to try and react and try and get out and get back home from this run. Otherwise, this will be an even shorter adventure than we normally have on this channel. Let's go to Caleb first. As the Grit, you're probably the first to react to this.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do to try and maybe evade these robots or deal with them and make your way out?
Well, the chutes might be closing, but Caleb spotted a button on the other side that's sort of like emergency release for it. But there's a bunch of these drones in the way, so what Caleb's going to do is he's going to run up a wall with his Rift Ninjas, pull out his board, and like skate on the top of the drones to get over there. He reckons they're big enough. And hey, all those lasers and everything like that. Take a little selfie in midair. Gonna look great. Gonna look great on the socials.
That's amazing. I think that happens, but it's up to the dice as well. They've got to help decide. So in Slug Blasters, you're normally rolling 1d6, but you can spend boost to get extra dice. You can also, if you want to do a dare to get extra dice, if you want to get more trouble or risk more stuff for it. So just talk us through you building your dice pool. You want to spend kick for more effect if you want.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a d6 from just having d6. I am going to spend one kick from my Rift Ninja Sneakers because that's what I'm using. I'm also going to spend a kick from them as well to get a better effect. And describe how your grit helps your action. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going for it. It's a big dangerous trick, so I'm going to spend one boost off my attitude as well. So I'm getting 3 dice with a bit of kick.
Fantastic. I'm just setting up a little track for us. I'm just going to have a little 1, 2, 3, 4 for this to get out. So go ahead and make the roll.
5. Take the highest dice out of my pool.
Yeah, that's 5. So that's a mixed success. So you spent quite a bit of kick on that, though, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Right, just the one.
Oh, just the one. So that's going to give you enhanced effect, but it is a success with a consequence. So I think that happens largely as you describe. But I think maybe it's a little bit more hair-raising and difficult than you imagined. It looks super cool, but your Rift Ninja sneakers are really good as long as you're actually on a surface. And there's a few bits between the drones where you're sort of doing that walking on air thing, where they're less effective. They're about as effective as normal sneakers. And you take a few sort of blasts to that. So I'm going to give you a quick little laser burnt slam.
Okay.
But the good news is you're going to get a couple of those tracks marked off to make your escape. You're getting towards the escape chutes, and you press the button, which seems to be a slowly overriding what's happening, but there's still all these drones around, and they still seem to be closing now. Maybe they'll stop soon, but you don't know. Should we go to our chill?
Sorry, guy. Am I taking a slam there?
Yeah, that's a slam. Sorry,
cool. I'm gonna nope it and take 2 trouble.
Fantastic, you can do that. Your trouble goes up.
I'm just sort of spinning out of the way, taking a photo as the lasers sort of fling past me.
Excellent. A big chunk of the ceiling falls down, not onto anyone. Would have hit you. Fantastic. Becky, what's Stacey doing?
Well, I think, having just discussed how incredible this kinetic deck is at slowing down things in my area, and these drones are sort of zooming towards us, lasers flying, they're going to set up to do a cool trick on their deck, and as they do it, they're going to kick in the inertial vortex, and going to cause all of that to slow down. And so I'm going to take one of the, I forgot what it's called, electric things.
Kick. Yeah.
I'm going to add some kick, and I'll take an extra dice as well. And because I am the chill, and I just look cool doing things anyway, I get 3 dice. Because I've got 2 to start with, so we're going to 3d6.
Yeah, the OP playbook has been picked by Becky.
So that's 5.
5. So very similar, I think. So your kinetic deck slows down time, doesn't it?
Yeah, it slows down the things that, well, not me, but the things around me. So it slows nearby enemies and objects.
Fantastic. So I think we see a little slow-mo vision of that as we see a sort of matrix of lasers fire near your location as you skate round to do it. I think I'm going to just incorporate what we had before, though. I think you skate round and get towards the escape chute, but just as you're moving away, you disable the vortex so you can build up some speed to get to the chute. That's when that chunk of masonry that started falling down before, that was hanging in midair as you skated under it, dropped. So I'm just going to give you a bruised slam. Now, you can nope it if you want again. Describe how you evade this rock falling onto you. Or you can take the slam. And just...
I think I'll take the slam this time. Let's do a little different.
Fantastic. And I'm going to give you the kick, which I can interpret. I'm going to give you the... just one effect on that track, but I'm going to say that your trick, something in it has frazzled these drones a bit, and they're sort of disabled a little bit now. They're running into each other. They can't really cope with the time dilation that's happening here, and so it's just a question of escaping. One last shot at getting to the escape chutes. Can Billy do it?
Yeah. So Billy. Moving slightly slower and just taking that fraction of a second to think it through. Billy immediately goes to follow, but anticipating what Stacey was going to do, throws his board out quicker than normal, and he gets caught in the vibe and spins slowly as he kind of leaps onto it. And then just as Stacey cuts out the field, it completes the flip, lands on it, drawing out his ray gun, and deciding that the direct approach is needed here, and timing it just right, because as a smarts, BZAP knows everything about physics, and time dilation, hoverboard spinning is core physics 201.
Yeah. They do that in high school and stuff, don't they? Like just
they do now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
sounds
not,
awesome.
man, they should.
Well, let's see. The dice will decide whether your calculations are correct as you're scribbling down the differential equation for this that you're trying to do.
Oh, I do them in my head. Come on, what do you think I am?
Yeah.
So I am going to take. I'm going to throw some boost into this.
Yeah.
As I line up my ray gun, which is a hairdryer with a multiphasic crystal stuck into the intake, so the air goes in and the laser comes out. As I zap away at them, and I have 2 3s, but because I know everything about physics and I needed to use my physics, I'm going to mark a trouble to upgrade that to a 4/5 result.
Fantastic. Somebody's read their playbook. That's fantastic. So you are going to get a mark on the thing, and you're going to get through. Basically, all 3 of you get through the chutes and are going as a. I think you are going to suffer a consequence, though. I think we just see a little flash as you sort of spin around, which isn't a laser. It's we just see it's a light on a security camera. You thought, obviously, this is the place where Hardy film all their promos. Just as you look back to check that you've got it and grab your board back, it gets a perfect picture of Billy's face. Yeah, even doing a thumbs up. You can't help yourself. So I'm going to give you a slam. I'm going to give you a Wanted by Hardecker slam.
All right. I'll take that.
As somewhere in an office building in another dimension, there's like a sort of fax machine cum printer is slowly printing off a colour portrait of you doing it, as it says, intruder alert, wanted Slugblasters, and that's immediately getting posted to social media. Okay, so you're in the escape chutes, you're going down. You can see, as normally happens at the end of this run, there are other Slugblasters there. There's also, you can always hear at this stage in the back of your mind that the sirens of rescue, who are like the interdimensional police, they often arrive about this time on your runs. So it's a question of making it down the chutes and getting to the thin zone so you can jump back into Null, into Hillview, and back into your normal lives. To do this at the end of a run, we do a disaster roll, which sounds worse than it is, I assure you. What you need to roll, each of you needs to roll a d6 per empty trouble box on your sheet. I should say for people watching at home, because we're starting in the middle of a run, they've already got some trouble we've assumed happened before we started watching them. So you'll have d6 for each blank box on your trouble. And again, you're looking for the highest result. You want a 6, you can deal with a 4 or 5. 1 to 3, it's not quite good. So go ahead and roll.
6.
Fantastic. So you avoid disaster and in fact do it with some style. So you get a point of style in for that.
I got 5.
5, it's you've avoided disaster, but you mark 1 trouble. I think there's a few grainy shots of you on the security cameras that come through, so you're going to mark a trouble. Otherwise, you'll be fine. Shane, is yours? That's 6.
I'm a 6 as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, you managed to evade it completely, so you get 1 style from that. As you're skating out,
dope.
Indeed, that's whatever it stands for. As you're skating out, we just see a shot from distance of another crew on Prismata. This crew is a group of 3. At first, they look almost identical to you, but then as we zoom out, we see that their decks are quite a bit better and shinier than yours. Their clothes are sort of similar to the stuff that you're wearing in the 3 of them, but they're certainly not handmade or vintage. These are the vintage that you buy that cost 10 times as much as the original. And as we see their faces, we also see they're sort of chiseled and stubble and the beginnings of sort of grey. I don't know why I'm pointing at my own face here. The beginnings of grey hair in there. And we will know, maybe a little thing flashes up on the screen for viewers at home. It says, this is the old guard. These are the old school Slugblasters who've been doing it since before you guys were born. Who obviously they believe they're achingly cool. The rest, you guys know that they're not, but do have a lot of stuff, and they always get write-ups in Slugblaster magazine. And we see them looking at, and they're sort of nodding along in approval at Caleb and Billy. Less so, Stacey, at you. I'm not sure how you've, as they see that maybe there's one drone with a camera trailing you. It's seeing that, and you're able to get to the thin zone and hop back across dimensions to Null, to Hillview, and you can race back, meet at the garage, race back home to your families, and take a little bit of downtime. So, in Slugblaster, when we go into downtime, you get a chance to trigger beats. So some of these are arcs that you need to do in order. Some of these are independent beats that you can do whenever, but you can only do once. We're going to just do one of these each. So we're going to get a little scene of our Slugblasters at home to sort of showcase this mechanic and also get to know the characters a little bit better. And each beat or arc has a description as to how you would sort of narrate it or what happens. So mostly that's going to be led by you as the players, but any of us can chip in and add a bit of flavour if we want to from it. And you get some mechanical, well, I'd say benefit, but often it's not a benefit in an arc. It often gets worse first and then gets better. So starting with Ian, do we want to just... We see Caleb sort of go home, and then we get a little montage of his life. And then do you want to narrate a little beat for him? Just talk us through what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a trait beat called grinding. So I'll get a new trait out of this. And basically, we see Caleb sort of like on his bed, looking at his phone, like looking through old videos of himself, like practicing tricks. And like we see him sort of like getting knocked down again and again, bashed, bruised. Like the camera sort of zooms in on his face, getting all scratched and like scraped legs, and like occasional sort of like sling arm in a sling on the videos, and sort of like getting better and better at these things, and sort of showing some patience and practice at doing things. So I'm going to take the trait patient, which is when I reveal how I've been waiting to act, I get +1d6 or +1 kick on my action.
Fantastic. So you spent 2 style triggered grinding, and you got extra pay from it. Fantastic. Becky or Shane, do you want to go next, Becky? Have you got one in mind?
Yeah. I'm gonna do the chill, my first of my chill acts. So caught in a plot. So you'll see Stacey's returning home on her deck, and she's still in like all of the clothes that she went out in. She's got like a vintage Sully backpack, like the monster is actually on her back, which has all the clothes that she left the house in. And you see her like returning to the house, obviously like still thinking about their escape and how things didn't maybe go as well as Stacey had hoped. And as she comes in the door and like throws the backpack down, puts the deck up on the wall, turns around to see like her mum stood there with like arms crossed, foot tapping, looking at like the crop top, the net top over that, and it looks like she's gonna not be in the good books.
Fantastic. So you spend 1 style to do caught in a plot. And it doesn't give you any benefit now, but it doesn't do anything bad for you either, which a lot of them do, the arcs to start with, and you have to get through them. Fantastic. Shane, what do we see of Billy? What beat are you going to trigger for him?
So Billy doesn't have extra clothes to change into when he goes home. He has to Slugblaster in the same hand-me-downs he goes to school in. He schleps home with his board sort of under his arm, backpack hanging in his hand. As he gets to the driveway, he sort of heart sinks because he sees Uncle Mike's car. Uncle Mike works for this company called Hard something or other, and I'm going to spend 2 trouble for the family arc Trouble at Home, and I'm going to throw it open to my fellow players if somebody wants to be the Trouble at Home. It can either be Uncle Mike, or if Uncle Mike talked to one of my parents, whatever. As long as folks are happy with it.
Yeah, sure. I can be Uncle Mike.
Go for it. Yeah, so I'll sort of open the door almost with a resigned look on my face.
Billy, sit down.
Hey.
I've been talking to your parents about what you've been up to.
Hey, Uncle Mike, I'm a little wiped, dude. I gotta hit the sack.
Sit down. He throws like down a sort of manila kind of like police file envelope thing, which falls open with like pictures, like blurred pictures of the rest of the crew, but like a very clear sort of picture of you and a printout with like wanted.
I sort of sit down, sort of head down, shoulders hunched in.
Can you explain this? I had to like sneak this out. I've got rid of this for you, but what are you up to? You can't go to these places. They're incredibly dangerous.
That's picture shopped.
Picture shopped. Yeah. I've got at least 2 or 3 camera angles of you in the facility doing this.
I think I'll just add a little bit of a thick set. So how I'm picturing it is that obviously because you're all kids, everybody else's face is blurred out automatically anyway. It's just yours that is.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Uncle Mike. We're just having some fun.
You could have got killed. Like there's serious equipment in that place. There's all sorts of weird things going on in there.
Just a film studio. You don't understand. You don't understand me. Were you ever even young? Yeah,
but I was sensible at least with it. Look, just don't do it again. He throws the file down. He storms out.
Oh, this is so unfair. I just hope my teenagers didn't watch this. I'll be so embarrassed.
Excellent. So you get a slam, I believe. So the good news for everyone is that all of your slams recover at the end of that run, but you're going to get one now that isn't going to recover.
Excellent.
So it can be like distracted, worried. I don't know whether
I'm going to go for It's So Unfair as a slam.
Sounds good. Yeah. I was going to go for Point to Prove, but I like It's So Unfair.
Oh, no, hey, I'm happy with either.
We also have to pick a teammate who notices. So I think probably for symmetry, it'd be nice if Stacey maybe notices this as well. So I don't know. Do we want to do a quick scene maybe as you're hanging out where Stacey, maybe you share that with Stacey and she notices that you're out of sorts?
I figure I'm probably sort of sat at the skate park late one night because we're, one evening, where else would it be, right? And I'm looking over the manila folder because I managed to get it away before my parents got hold of that. So they've just got Uncle Mike's word for it. And I'm just looking at it and grumbling to myself.
So yeah, I'll be there. Probably stood behind you, like having just come up from doing a trick or something, and I'll like come over and like poke you with my toe.
And I'll sort of slam the manila shut.
Like, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Stay. Oh, it's nothing. It's just my Uncle Mike being a jerk.
I think you've mentioned him before. Does he work at that place? The laser place we were at.
Yeah, sucks, doesn't it?
They never get it. They'll never get it.
They don't. It was different when they were young, right? They didn't. They just did what they were told, and they don't understand.
Well, they weren't like us.
No.
We're going places. We're going to do.
Yeah, we're going places. I don't care if he's got pictures of me.
Yeah.
Look, and I'll sort of wave it open.
Oh, you look sick! That's
dope, yeah.
awesome!
Oh, dude, yeah.
Wanted, absolutely, you are.
And look, they've blurred your face out, and Caleb's too. That sucks. We could put this on our socials, otherwise.
You were so lucky. Well, gel.
Amazing.
Yeah, we should put this on Instabook.
Yes.
I think that's maybe a good time for the next run to be dropped, and I think Caleb, you're probably going to arrive at this scene with the next run already researched, because Caleb, as you've been looking at your videos, obviously it's on UVid, and so it gives you recommended shots as well, and there's a sort of secret tip-off that you've heard. Obviously, the number of views is like rolling up, where they're sharing that Vastiche, which is a sort of toxic wasteland, an abandoned dimension that nobody really goes to anymore. It's polluted. It's got sort of caustic storms, plastic deserts, microplastic deserts, all kinds of. It's just real. It's got loads of wrecked out cars, old highways and things. Nobody goes there. It's terrible. Apart from Slugblasters who go there all the time because it's the ideal place to do some cool tricks. There's a sort of legendary thing in Vastiche of the Mega Mall. There's an old shopping mall that's enormous that appears every so often. The sort of winds from the caustic storms reveal it, and people can go in and slug blast around it and get stuff there. You've seen a video that says Mega Mall's like just been revealed, so people can flock to it and do it. And the next video that you get completely randomly from the algorithm on UVid is that actually there's a little somebody trying to give a little tip off. He says, "Oh yeah, remember Panic Energy? Remember Panic Energy drink when they had that Tang-xiety flavor? There's still a few crates of that left in Mega Mall, in the Panic Energy kiosk on the 4th floor. And there's a little sort of sketched map that you keep pausing it to try and get it blurry. But not only is Mega Mall going to be revealed, but there's a chance for you guys to get a crate of the discontinued Tang-xiety Panic Energy drink." Which not only will taste obviously like awful electricity, but how cool would it be if you could film yourselves with some of this unavailable drink? You've researched this and obviously thought, well, I better go down the skate park and tell the rest of Dope about it, because the views on that video aren't going up as fast as much because you just sort of found that randomly. But everyone's going to go to it once they find out about it. Better get there first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I skate down to the skate park and like I sort of, my phone is like broken and smashed up already. I sort of throw my phone on the ground near you with this video playing, going, check this out, guys. Look at this. I've always wanted to go to Mega Mall. It looks amazing. And there's apparently this sweet spot for a really cool trick in the middle. Incredibly dangerous, but sounds completely up my street. Also, Tang-xiety. Famous. Get it on the socials. Also, all drinking it. Have a party, maybe.
Yeah,
bear.
My brother had some of that once. He said it was made him sick. But hey, sick, right?
Maybe he's just got a weak stomach. Fine, we'll try it, right?
Wouldn't make us sick.
No, absolutely not. Wouldn't make cool people like us sick.
We might even get. Oh no, they've gone out of business, haven't they? I was going to say they might sponsor us. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe this is the kick they need.
I think they got bought. Did they not get bought by someone like Wix or someone like that? I think that big interdimensional sweet company. I think they got bought by them. So yeah, maybe Wix would be on us. It'd be good to get a sponsor.
I should get sponsored by them anyway.
Fantastic. Yeah. So to clarify for viewers in the UK, it's Wix, the interdimensional shop in Slugblaster's, not the hardware store. I always think of when I read it. It's not that. You'd pick up some taps while you're there. Fantastic. So you've got the coordinates of this shop in Megamall. Tang-xiety. We just get, as viewers at home, we get a little shot of a really well appointed, nice basement with leather sofas, group of boards hung on the wall next to guitars, keyboards and stuff, and skater paraphernalia around. And we just see the old guard that we saw before, just finishing up a tin of Panic Energy, being, oh man, that was my last one, slamming it down on the table. And as he moves his hand away, we see that it is indeed Tang-xiety flavoured. So, well, man, we better go get some more. Yeah, to be sure. The kids don't deserve to drink this. This is just for us. And then we'll cut back to what you're doing. So, we're going to go straight to the run. So, you know where Megamall is appearing. As you plan your run, you have sort of two options that are immediately apparent to you. You can go in the sort of safe way, if you like, and appear over what's called the billboard jungle, which is a forest of old billboards advertising all kinds of things that you can skate over, but is fairly safe. It's on solid ground. It's not toxic. For the whole of Vastiche, you'll need to wear little sort of face masks and things, like it's 2020 again, to try and avoid inhaling the acid and things. And it's possible that it could get worse. So you might want to have something in your back pocket. Equipment's fairly loose in here that will help you to get through a caustic storm. You could go in Billboard Jungle, and that would be straightforward to get through to the route to the mall there. The only disadvantage possibly is there might be a few Slugblasters there. That's the obvious route in. Or you could go around the back, and as you look at around the back of where the moors appeared, are the wastes, sort of featureless plastic desert. Nobody really goes there. Everyone talks about how dangerous it is. It's prescribed to slug blasting. Not that makes any difference, but literally people don't most of the other places that slug blasters aren't allowed to go to. Loads of slug blasters go to. This one, none of you have ever really been here before. Nobody really goes there because there's not even anything cool to skate on. So it's up to you. You've got your two options there. Do you go in the easy route, but there might be lots of people there, or do you go around the back to the potentially more dangerous unknown wastes?
I've heard the wastes are cool. I've heard you can surf on microplastic waves. Sounds amazing.
So I gotta. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
I definitely think it will all work out whichever way we go, but we will look so much cooler with that backdrop and no other people around. Saves having to wipe them all out when we put it up.
Yeah, cool.
What do you think, Billy?
I got these. I took them from my older brother because he doesn't blast no more. And I'll take out some folded and creased multiversal mats as one of my gear and see if I can use that to advantageously plot us a route through the wastes.
Nice.
I don't know how gear works in this game, but I'm sure Guy will guide us through it.
It works pretty much like that. You get them out.
Excellent.
Feel free to narrate it into your description of what you're
Great.
doing when we have to make a roll for it. So probably that research will flash back to when you do it, and then it's like you still have to. It's a bit like in Blades in the Dark. You still have to spend a boost or a kick, but it's narratively it's the equipment that gives you permission or otherwise to that. But yeah, multiversal maps seems exactly what you would do for the wastes. So you go down at the end of the skate park. There's some wasteland at the end of it. There's a well-known thin zone there where you can skip through to Vastish. And we see your crew do a variety of cool-looking tricks to then leap through the dimensions and arrive in Vastish. As you appear, the air smells strongly of chlorine, and you just get that familiar little sting on your face. I'm assuming that you've all been to Vastish a few times. It's really easy to get to. It's where a lot of Slugbasters start because, people keep themselves. It's hard enough. People don't take the risk of falling out there. And your eyes start to sting a little bit just from the acid in the sky. You're on. You can just see in the distance there's the flat roof of what must be one edge of Megamall there. And what's in front of you are sort of really low dunes. It really is a little bit, as you sort of skate down on your hoverboard, there doesn't seem to be much to do except go straight there over these gently undulating plains. It's sort of made of red, sort of little specks of what seem to be plastic. I don't know, you think twice about putting your hand in and just checking what it is, but it's like sand, really. It seems to be featureless, and then there's just a couple of things. You can hear the wind across there. You can just see a few sort of shapes moving below the sand, maybe like it's robots or drones or something that are just shifting beneath them. I'm not quite sure what they are. And also there seems to be, every so often, there's a little red light of a little sort of bulb that's in the sand. There seems to be a sort of mesh of these all over where you can see. And yeah, just in the distance, you see there's a sort of a red light and then a little sort of explosion of that. And maybe it isn't quite as straightforward to get across them all as you think. What are you thinking, Billy? You're the smart one.
Well, I'm thinking as we're coasting along, I'm staring intently at this map, and I can see on there some of the places that there's some notes from Andrew, the older brother, and I've seen there's a couple of areas where the wind's piled this stuff into some sick big ramps. I figure I'm going to try and steer the crew by that so we can get some airtime in and get that on our socials en route.
That sounds like a fantastic plan. Unfortunately, as you may have surmised, this is in fact an active minefield.
Details.
So to traverse this, I'm going to just put a little track up here for you, a kaboom 6-step track. So you need to try and clear that to get across here. Extra kick will get you extra letters filled in. There's also obviously these drone robots that are going around there. Luckily, no other Slugblasters. Good. Don't have that. So maybe we'll start with you, Shane, because Billy seems to be taking the lead here. You're trying to guide the crew towards these sick ramps to do some 360s.
Yeah. So this sounds like a job for my Voidware backpack. And I'll sort of sling it off one of my shoulders as I'm going and reach in. I'm going to activate Astral Intake. So I mark a turbo and roll to produce a unique specializer implausible item from the multiverse. In this case, the implausible item is an area mine suppressor. And I'm going to mark my turbo and pull out this. I'll describe it if I'm successful.
Yeah, let's see how good it is. What area it covers?
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw in a turbo boost from that because I feel like if you're gonna get something right, it's the mine suppressor. Yeah. And that is a 6 as my highest.
Fantastic. So I'm actually going to give you, with the mine suppressor, I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you a bonus sort of kick for that as well. So
nice.
you've got rid of the cat. You've just got the boom to go through. So yeah, I think this means your mind suppressor works. It's centered around you, maybe. I don't know. Or there's some limit to it. I don't want mine to be off the picture.
Oh no, of course.
Feel free to come up with some more scientific explanation for it. But
well, what I figure is I pull out this thing and it basically looks like a sort of big version of one of those sort of noisemakers you blow in and something unrolls. I have no idea where this came from across the multiverse, but I sort of point it towards some of the mines, blow it, and there's this ear-shrieking noise, and then it just extends implausibly long, flops out, and covers a row of the mines, so won't move with us.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we see the end of it as we do.
Yeah, it's like 500 meters long. It's crazy, and I'm like amazed because I know everything about physics, and that makes no sense.
It's definitely as well going like the mole's directly in front of you, and you've not done it completely straight. So it'd be great if you were going over there, but it just you are still gonna. But yeah, you're able to skate over it and get up some speed and get past some of the mines. What's Stacey doing? What's your plan? If you want to take a go at?
Yeah, Stacey. This is just for flair, but she like has made these glasses for us all, and like as she pulls them out for you, just to help with the stinging eyes. It's like onions, right? You can see that they must have been from something before. Clearly, we would know them as like those glasses that were like for the millennium, and they just had like a 2 and a 0, and then the eyes were like the other 0. So they were those, but she's like, and you can still see it a little bit, but she's turned them into like glasses that say dope. So it's like a D and an E and like an O, and then like a little thing here that's like the P. And she hands them out to you all like, this will be great. These will look great on the socials. So that's the first thing she does, but just for fun. And then because she's always eating boiled sweets, what she's going to do is just be like, well, if we just set off the mines before we get to them, surely that's going to be like the safest thing to do, right? And so she's going to set up to do a trick that is going to like give her like the best sort of force for like throwing these things as far as she can, the boiled sweets, to hopefully set off like a load of mines to make the path clear. So she's going to do a Hollyvarial dragon flip, which involves a lot of spinning and will hopefully build up momentum so that she can throw these sweets especially far.
That sounds like a check it that you might be doing.
And as she does it, she's like, check it. Like.
So just to explain the system, if you say check it before a roll, it means you're incorporating a trick into it, so you get a bonus kick. But the consequences of failure are worse. I can't think of what could go wrong. You'll have to help me out here on this minefield. But go ahead and build your dice pool.
So I get 2 to start with anyway, because I'm chill. And then can I spend trouble to get extra dice?
So what you can do is you can do a dare. Where you can get an extra dice, but you will mark 1 trouble.
And mark 1 trouble. Cool. And I can just do that once?
Yeah, it's a 1 per
okay. So I will do that so that I get 3 dice. I've lost my dice. I'm on 6. Oh, no. I got a 4.
Yeah,
so I did roll double ones, so I do get to add a style, I think.
Yeah, because
I looked cool, even though it maybe didn't go so well. So I think like she's like pulled off this trick. She's spinning and spinning and spinning, and she like maybe the board dips a little bit, and so that's where it goes wrong. But it just ends up looking even cooler, and then you can tell me what horrible consequences there are of that.
It's really cool in a sort of like reality TV video show would be, where you're like, oh, that's so cool, laughing at someone falling into a stream or something. I think you do actually miss the board. I think the first couple of boiled sweets, you throw in loads of them really fast. The first couple, but then you've picked up so much speed. I think you're the next trigger for the boiled sweet, and you just get caught by the mine. So I'm gonna give you a slam for it. Which is going to be that you have been probably just battered, is what I'd say. you just get thrown to that. You've got, yeah, you've got like probably like red soot around your face, but obviously the dope imprint is still there from the glasses, so that's not there. But just as this sand has exploded, but you're going to get 2 because you got a kick there. You're going to get again 2 progress marked because you're getting closer to the mall now and closer to where you actually want to be in this door. But you are sort of struggling a bit. Remember, you can note that if you want to, but don't if you don't want to.
Oh, good. Yeah, and she'll just look back and be like, "You're sick."
Yeah, I'm going to make the consequence a little bit worse as well because I think as well as that, I think we also see your packet of boiled sweets just roll out and just go, and we see them sinking into the red sand as you let Scrabble after them as you realise. Just got an empty. I mean, you're going into a mall though. Surely there'll be some sweets there.
There'll be some sweets.
That'll be entirely normal and not dangerous.
It'll all work out.
I'm sure.
Probably.
Probably it will. Finally, can Caleb get us all the way to the mall? You're nearly there, but you can see there seem to be more of these sort of undersand robot worm things as you approach there. You're going to have to avoid them as well as the mines for us to get to the mall.
Well, Caleb's pretty sure that Billy and Stacey have got like the mines kind of sorted out, so he's going to run distraction for these robots. He actually hangs back out of the area of safety, like just stands on top of this dune. He can hear the wind whistling around. He can see like a sort of surf of microplastic behind him waiting, and he's just standing there, bored. Cool dope glasses, they're obviously cool. On. And he sort of waits to ride this wave of microplastic that's coming behind him, and he's going to like sort of really dig his board into the sand and like make as much sort of disturbance as he can as he rides this sort of surf wave, sort of in parallel with where Billy and Stacey are towards, and sort of bring the robots with him and sort of over the top of them all.
Fantastic! Sounds amazing. Billy dice.
So when I reveal how I've been waiting to act, I get +1 d6 or +1 kick of action. So I'll take 2 dice off that. I will boost that as well. And I'll take a dice on my Riff Ninjas as well. So 3. 6.
Yes. Did you have any kick on that? I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I lost track of that. Fantastic. So you're going to get there. If you want to just narrate how you successfully get to the mall's entrance, that'd be.
So yeah, I sort of ride this wave. I pull sort of all the robots sort of like run up this wave behind me. You can see them all sort of scrambling to get to me. And I've noticed there's like a sort of an old sort of pool feature or something like that outside the mall, which is now filled with like, I don't know, something green and it's just like steaming there ever so slightly. We probably don't want to go into. So I like pull them over. I sort of pull them over it and like kick back and disturb the surf behind me, doing a late hospital flip to like backwards flip over the robots. So they go all crashing into this stuff that starts to melt them. It's really don't want to go in there.
Cool. And you arrive at the sort of. It's a mall. This isn't a back door, but it's the less popular entrance, if you see what I mean. It's got big swing doors that are open. Inside, it's an old sort of rusty, disused mall. Imagine, from every zombie film that you've seen, it's just a normal sort of mall without any people in, except that you can tell inside it quite a few people in because Slugbasters have got here first. In particular, as you approach the door, you see couple of Slugbasters there just sort of watching. They've got boards up there. You notice they're probably, they're really old, these guys. These are ancient, probably like 26, 27. Geriatric Slugbasters here. Stood there. They've got like trendy clothes, but a bit of a dad bod, bit of a belly on them. All their clothes are just a bit too cool. These are very much the old guard. You recognise some of them. And they say, hi guys, come to the Mega Mall. Sorry, this is our entrance.
Don't see your name on it, Grandad.
Don't even see your tag on it, really. Do you know how to tag? Do you need that explained to you with like small words, maybe a diagram?
Yeah,
we know. Arthritis. They can't tag anymore.
Guys, we know how to tag. Like, no problem. You can just go around the back and then you can do whatever you kids do. But yeah, we're going to be filming something for Slugblaster magazine, taking some snaps in here, so it's probably best if you
Well, you can include us or not as you wish, but we're coming in this way.
So I just say we're filming a thing for Slugblaster magazine in here, so you can't come in.
What's up? I mean,
I've always wanted to be in Slugblaster magazine, haven't you guys?
I don't know. I mean,
it's a magazine. Does anyone read those anymore? Really?
I think you'll find print media is still holds quite a lot of prestige.
Prestige, yeah, but sales.
So look. Sales have been going up since we went here. Anyway, you can't go. They're trying to stop you. So you need some way to get back in. Could be violence, could be flattery, could be something. We were sort of edging towards some ways there. So feel free to go away and have a little huddle and come back if you want to agree what you're going to do.
I don't know. What do you think, guys?
I don't think we just trick our way past him.
I could slow him down.
You know what?
Like that.
I bet we're
like
better on our
and
boards.
tricks. Why not
Yeah,
both?
we're better on our boards than they are.
Oh yeah, way more flexible. Granddad.
Yeah, you see one of them doing some stretches and just holding his back. Just as you say, they're like having to one of them's had to sit down for a bit. Do it. So you're going to try and slow them down and do some tricks. Past them. So I think we're going to do this just as one group action. So group actions in Slugblaster. One lead person rolls. And anyone on the crew can add kick or boost by narrating how they're helping. You all suffer collectively the results of the action. So obviously you might be rolling more dice, but if you fail, it works quite a bit differently. Have Blades in the Dark screen.
Well, my handy added feature doesn't work in group settings, and I've not rolled a single 6. So.
Oh, your idea though.
Yeah, it seems like. Sounded like you might be leading it.
No.
I'm sure a 6 will come soon.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, yeah, sure then. So we'll have our little huddle, and I'll be like, let's just act like we're going to be like, okay, guys, yeah, sorry, we stepped on your turf. We're going to head now, and as we say that, I'll click in the deck, and I mean they're going to be slow anyway, right? But we're going to.
It sounds amazing. So you're rolling your one die now because you can't share your chill with everyone else.
Yeah, but I can't because I'm using my deck. I can use a die from that, can I? So I'll add a die from that, and I'll add some. Is it style as well?
You can take a dare, so you can spend a point of trouble to get an extra dice.
No, I was gonna just what's it called? Flare the electricity.
Are you thinking boost and kick?
Yeah. Can I add kick to it to help?
Yeah.
If we do well. So I've got 2 dice.
Anyone else can help as well if they want to narrate.
I'm going to give you a boost as well. I'm going to be all up in their faces while as we go past this, so Stacey can get the time to sort of set up her board and get that shot right. I'll be all up in their grills. Come on, guys, after me. Look at me.
Yeah, whatever.
And I'm going to give a kick towards it, because I've got pro camera gear as my other stuff. So I'm going to make sure those big HD cameras with the autofocus and that can do the high speed shots are on right on their faces as Caleb is putting them in their place.
So is that 3 dice and 2 kicks?
Yeah, go for it. Let's make the roll.
Well, is it possible actually to do a check it? And I'll actually I'll do a trick while I kick in the deck. So I'm gonna do blunt slide inward sigma, which I know is one of the old guard's trick. They actually invented it, and I'm just gonna aim to do it so much better.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely.
And just check it. Just increases how good things are or how bad things are.
Yeah, you'll get style if you do it. You kick.
Come on. I knew I wouldn't get a 6. I didn't even get a 4. So that's 2 3s and a 1. I do, however, still look great doing it.
Because you got a double. Yeah, you still get style for that. Yeah. So
I'll add some style on.
I think what happens, feel free to chip in, is the problem with the temporal dampener is getting it in the right direction can be quite tricky, and certainly Caleb was all up in their grill, and And so I think the one thing that does work is the cameras work really well. And are actually set up to live stream really quickly as well. So you maybe kick that in and you get this weird sort of, I think you all slow down and you can just see from the winds of the dunes behind everything in normal speed as you have this really awkward sort of slow-mo argument as you try and get round them and past them, and they sort of chase after you. We see it on a screen. This is being live streamed through from it. The trick, I think, doesn't quite come off. And just as they do it, obviously, one of the old guard goes for the same trick. It's the only thing they can remember how to do. The one thing they can do. They execute it perfectly in Mirror from You, and the cameras start to focus on them. What I'm going to... And we see a little flash forward to the future where there's a newsstand out there and there's a Slugblaster magazine on there that just says, "Who are these losers? Kids these days." And there's some shots that it's just stills from the slow-mo, but you look super awkward, like falling down, while they look awesome because they've just selected from that. So I'm actually I'm gonna let you get past, but you're gonna get you're actually going to get a Doom, which is a crew thing that everyone gets. I think it's a Doom, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's called Doom.
Yeah, which is a crew thing that's really hard to get rid of, which is going to be magazine laughing stock.
Cool.
Because when you
I
get
did
back...
have the glasses on as well, so it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
dope all over my face.
Even if you took them off, there's the imprint from the sound.
There's the imprint still, yeah, of dope printed on my
It's still
face.
on,
Great.
yeah, you're too branded. So yeah, luckily, as you said, maybe nobody reads Slugblaster magazine.
No.
But yeah, I imagine your brother Billy still subscribes to it though, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the newsstand outside of Uncle Mike's work has it.
yeah, they do. Yeah. Unusually, that Hardiker Mining would have that. So you somehow get through and are able to explore them all. You've got a vast Megamall to explore now, but you've got a chance to catch your breath with the old guard behind you for now, and your infamy written across Slugblaster magazine. It sounds like that might be a good time for us to take a quick break. So we're going to take a few minutes to get refreshed, take a break in the middle of our session and get ready to... We're going to go and research some new tricks that we can do, just practice on our boards out back. For you guys, though, watching at home, we'll cut it in, so it'll just be like 3 or 4 seconds. So stick with us, and we'll see you back to explore the Megamall. Welcome back, viewers. Our Slugblasters have managed to make it through Vastish to the Megamall and evaded, not without a cost to their reputation, the old guard, and are pleased to see themselves on the cover of Slugblaster magazine, but not described as losers. But that's a problem I'll have to face on another day, because they're inside this vast abandoned mall. Abandoned, that is, except hordes of other Slugblasting crews looking to get what they can out of it. They're going to have to make their way to the Panic Energy kiosk. They've got the coordinates for it on the 4th floor, and try and get out the Tang-xiety drink before... Well, we already know the old guard are after it, and every other crew, once they find out about it, is going to want some of that as well. So there's various ways to do this in different systems. We're going to do a little montage to get there. So this is an idea that originates in 13th Age. How it works is I will begin by introducing the first challenge that your crew faces. I'll pass to Ian, and he'll then describe how it is overcome, and then introduce another challenge. We'll pass to Becky, which will Jane. Finally, we'll pass back to me, as hopefully they will arrive back. For this montage, we don't roll any dice. We don't do anything except for make stuff up within the genre and sort of agreed tone seems like a strong word for this. Gonzo weirdness of Slugblaster from here. So, everyone's happy. We shall start. That's the order we're going to go in. So you set off. You're on the ground floor of the mall. you're working your way there. You've got a bit of a balance to make here because you want to get there as quickly as you can. But there's loads of crews looking for stuff here. So you also don't want to be looking like you're too obviously going in one direction. But the first challenge comes as you get to make your way up onto the first floor. The elevators in the center of the mall, which is, the only way to get up onto the first floor, are just surrounded by this vast crowd of Slugblasters. They're getting a bit angry as well. There's a few different crews here that have beef with each other. They're sort of pushing and shoving. All at the elevator is just back to back. There's a huge crowd at the top as well. Getting through this is going to take some skill. So this is your first obstacle. So, Ian, how does Caleb, or indeed any other member of the crew, manage to overcome this obstacle?
Well, Caleb, the crowd are sort of like they're holding up their boards above their heads. They're sort of like they're holding up like protest boards, and Caleb's just like, definitely grind on that, right? There's sort of sort of like row of boards above heads. Basically, we're going to sort of crowd surf over the top of these guys' heads. And Caleb starts off by sort of like jumping up with his rift ninjas off on the sidewalls, spinning over, doing a Holly Hardway 360, pulling out his board and like grinding along the sort of like the helmets these guys are wearing and their boards and little signs they're holding up and any sort of like camera equipment that people are pulling out, just anything you can get an edge on.
Fantastic. And you lead the crew over the top of the boards and the protest things they're doing up the escalator to the first floor. What's the next obstacle in the crew's way then, Ian?
The old guard have got like a few of the young crews who sort of like idolize them and like sort of really look up to them to like effectively sort of form a police. So they've made some like makeshift barriers out of like remembrance benches and that kind of thing, the sort of thing you find in malls, and like sort of blocking the way up to like the sort of next level, and I'm really getting in the way. They're occasionally sort of shooting a ray gun to like sort of like calm the place down. Just getting in the way.
Yeah, and this is
and they're young and enthusiastic, and they're maybe even younger than us. That's just really annoying.
Oh yeah, they're brand new. They've still got their like price tags on some of their boards, and stuff. They're just kids, these. So, Becky, how does the crew get past this crew of literal young kids that are like they're so much younger that they're probably like 6 months to a year. They're the year below you at high school. That's how young they are.
Oh my god. Oh, losers.
Plus babies.
Yeah.
I think that I will. One of the things that I have with me is like something I picked up on the way here, and what I picked up on the way here is some stickers for my sister. She's only 4, so these guys will probably appreciate these too, right? And I'm just gonna like. I'm just gonna be like, oh gosh, I don't know what to do with these really. They're not really my style, and start like wandering over with them. Like, you don't know anybody who would want these, do you? I mean, I can make pretty much anything look good, but these, I don't know.
Hey, that'd look cool on my board. Yeah.
Would it? It would. You're right. Here you go, and I'm just gonna like, oops, and throw them down like into a doorway of a shop.
And they all scrabble onto like, yeah, completely.
Come on, guys.
Brilliant. So yeah, with the young guard all scrabbling towards your ridiculous stickers.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry for your sister now that she won't get them. But I mean, maybe you'll find something else in the mall. And you're able to proceed up and further and approach closer to the Panic Energy kiosk that you need to get to. What's the next obstacle that the crew faces?
I think that the next thing we're going to face is that we get to like a section where there's like a fountain in the middle, and like people are just like using their boards all over, and it's like a bit crazy with all the tricks going on and stuff. But the actual problem we face is that we don't really have time to partake in this, and unfortunately Caleb cannot walk past something like this without trying to do the craziest, most dangerous trick ever. So I think the problem is that we need to get Caleb past without like him engaging in like the actual skating.
He's
Yeah,
already,
Caleb's seen a perfect opportunity to do a switch ollie to backside tail press, big flip out.
Uh-huh.
The only trick that's ever broken a big piece of his body.
Yeah.
He hasn't quite gotten it right yet. But perfect opportunity.
It is, yeah. And so you're, completely. Caleb's lost. The two of you get halfway towards the next bit and then turn around, and you've got to somehow do it. Shane, how do you manage to drag Caleb away from the trick that you just described?
Well, realizing the only way to get Caleb to stop focusing on that is to take the spotlight off him. Realizing it's, it might anger and cause some beef inside the crew, but that's a risk BZAP is prepared to take because that's how BZAP rolls. And I'm going to, as Caleb's sort of prepping, I'm going to come screaming past on my board and see the sort of upward slope of the fountain as the ideal place to do a kickflip twist, which I don't need to tell anybody here is a kickflip combined with an inverted 540-degree mute grab aerial. And the top of the fountain is the ideal place for that. And as I come up and do that mute grab aerial, make sure I shove the leg out, holding the board for the picture of Tony Hawk on the bottom with a thumbs up. Him being the first person to successfully land that trick right into the nearest camera. Everybody's sort of turning, paying attention, shouting, dope, 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 taking the eyes off Caleb.
Fantastic. And indeed, Caleb, you have to kind of carry on there. No one's looking at. Okay, brilliant, Shane. The last challenge that you face, the last obstacle as you approach the place. What is it? And I have to resolve it for you.
The last challenge is that somebody has picked up and wheeled off that mobile kiosk, and it's not where we expect it to be.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you say wheeled off. It's not even wheeled off. As you get there, there's just a sort of weird dimensional fracture where it should be.
That's what wheeled off means. Come on, get with it, Grandad.
And as you look on your multi-dimensional maps of the mall, which you realise would have been useful before, there's even in that, there's a little hole like it's been burnt in, multicoloured, as if something is going on. And this, in fact, it flickers back into existence again and then flicks nearby. The door opens, but not the shop within. And as your sort of eyes adjust to what's happening, you see a strange worm-like creature, sort of fractal with sharp claws, something around 100 legs if you were to count them, although you can be pretty certain that the number of legs it has is not an integer. You recognise this beast as it wraps around the kiosk in front of you, and is maybe why nobody's gone in and got this Tang-xiety before. This is a quantum centipede that you're going to have to fight and defeat in order to get in there. It's a sort of horror with no terminus. If you can imagine, which you can't, a 5-dimensional giant centipede with no end or beginning. It's probably got a soft underbelly beneath the chitin somewhere, but that might be in the 4th or 5th dimension, which are not where you are. So we're going to start a track for this. And just for clarity, I'm just putting QP'd in. The hyphen in between Q and P counts for the track as well, just to be clear. So it's a six track one. So you're going to have to try and defeat this quantum centipede. You've heard all kinds of things about it. I'm trying to think of the first. Probably the Grit is the first to react to this. What are you thinking, Caleb? How are you going to make your way past this creature?
Well, Caleb's like he's like a little bit into bugs. He's like looked at him, has a little farm and that kind of thing, and he's like, he's like seen centipedes before, and like they've got like that chitinous kind of like outer armor, so he's gonna like try and crack some of that.
They're usually smaller,
like,
you know that.
Usually smaller, but that's okay. They're bigger, therefore I can get my board under it, like a sort of like crowbar, right? So Caleb is going to like grind down this thing. He's going to grind along like a hold rail that's nearby, grind onto this thing, and sort of like get his board wedged kind of underneath one of the chitinous bits of armor and try and sort of wedge it out with like the momentum.
That doesn't sound dangerous at all.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Go ahead and build your dice pool to try and.
Okay, so I'm going to sacrifice my body on this one. So I'm going to take a slam, which you can decide what it is, to get plus 2d6 on my action.
Wow. So the slam you'll be taking, I think, because you're sort of trying to get into the fourth dimension. I think you're going to be hyper reflected, as
cool.
we see in this sort of fractal dimension. Hundreds of Caleb's reflected in there, and as Stace and Stay and Billy look at them, like some of those Caleb's aren't doing the same thing as Caleb is here, and some of them have like a different hairstyle and a different board and look quite different. This is all quite disturbing for you guys too. So yeah, you're going to be hyper reflected or hyper refracted.
And I'm going to spend a kick off my Rift Ninjas as well. So three dice, 1 kick. 5.
So with that kick, that is going to take you down. I think you managed to wedge open the centipede's chitin. So is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Q-tin, because it's quantum. So you managed to wedge it open. The complication that you're going to get, I'm not going to give you a slam. I'm going to give you a literal complication. You wedge your board open into it, but your board is literally wedged into this quantum centipede now.
Yep.
And you're holding onto your board as this thing like wriggles around and tries to get it off you in a number of dimensions. So you're going to have to somehow recover your board. You need boards, by the way, to like get through dimensions. To, e.g., get home. Just to be clear. Cool. Let's maybe go to Billy now. How's Billy gonna take on this beast?
Well, you see, Billy knows everything about physics. So Billy knows that this thing, as you so wisely said, is a non-terminus, non-fixed point in space and time.
Yeah.
Which means you could argue it is always traveling at terminal velocity. And terminal velocity, of course, being the maximum speed at which something can move through a fluid. And nothing is more fluid than our tricks. So I am going to basically get in front of n-1 of this thing's eyes and just constantly zip around, kicking, flipping, and finally ending in an Ollie 180, zipping into a board slide varial hard flip out to basically distract this thing and see if I can't pull it away from covering up bits of the kiosk.
Lovely. I love the n-1 eyes. Go for it. Build your dice.
Well, you know.
Ryan is not an integer.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. It's X-1, strictly speaking. Yeah.
And I am going to go big or go home. I'm not going home until I get that energy drink. So I am going to throw in I'm going to throw in a boost and I'm going to throw in a kick. And the kick comes from the backpack, which, of course, I relied on getting my transdimensional calculator out to come up with the correct angles, of course. Because what else would you do?
Let's hope it's in radians.
It is. Unfortunately, I end up doing the cosine instead of the sine and get a 5, not a 6.
You should have used that. You should have used the hyperbolic function. That's for you.
All right. All right, show off. You win.
Okay, yeah. So it is successful. Yeah, I think it is swaying in time to this. I think though, what they, as Nietzsche said, be careful when you look into the n-1 eyes of the quantum centipede, because it also looks back at you to an order of magnitude of n. So I think you are actually. I'm going to give you a slam. I'm going to give you woozy as you start swaying along in the time with it, as you see yourself reflected in its eyes. It's a little bit like the Caleb reflection, actually. Like some of those reflections of you have got like different color hair, and are doing different things. And some of them you're a little baby, and some of you're an old man. It's all quite disturbing, and you're sort of swaying around from here. So we've currently got one of the crew sort of incapacitated, hypnotized, and one of the other crew's boards is stuck in this thing. Becky, are you still chill?
Oh, I am so chill. This is going great.
Yeah.
This is all part of the plan we didn't have. So I am seeing that the board is like wedged in. I'm thinking like if I can get that thing to like rip out, that's surely going to do some damage. There's got to be something integral in this thing somewhere. So with it thrashing around, I'm imagining there's like some damage and stuff. Maybe like it's gone through like a bit of the floor above and knocked some stuff over. And handily, there's like a great ramp that I can use to get some like trajectory, gain some height. So I'm gonna back up and do a Stinkbug Slab 1800, and I'm gonna try and land it on top of Caleb's board so that it like,
Fantastic. So freeing the
and
board will be a
I'm
kick.
gonna do a dare.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna take a dare for an extra dice as well.
So mark a trouble.
So
your
trouble.
kick, an extra kick will free the board and then damage it as well. If you see.
Yeah.
I think that's the extra.
Okay. And I'm using my board, aren't I? So I will also add like a kick to that.
Go for it, yeah.
Oh yes, a 6.
Finally, a 6.
I look absolutely epic doing that. It's the
Yeah.
best thing I've done all night.
Absolutely, yeah. So how many kicks in total was that? It was just one kick you had on there?
Just one kick.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's going to give you 1 mark on the quantum centipede. As you do indeed, but you flip the board out and look pretty cool doing it. It flies up in the air and lands.
Can I catch it?
Yeah.
And just like hand it down to Caleb.
Cool. And
Thanks.
as
Not
it
gonna
does,
work
though,
out.
there's a thrash from the quantum centipede. You see it bust through. Well, the floor above, the floor below. There's a floor in a mall like 3 dimensions away as well, back in Null. The crashes through the floor of that as well, as it exists in all these multiple realities. It's still at large, and it seems as if you've managed to anger it quite a bit. Caleb, can you finally get past it and persuade it to leave?
Yeah, so what am I going to do here? It's existing in multiple dimensions at once, right? I'm going to try and I'm going to like.
I mean, as are you at the moment.
I'm going to lead it on a merry chase through some multiple dimensions and like leave it behind in one that isn't this one.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to basically be bait as it comes after me with sort of like mandibles. Sort of like, So I'll grab my board down from Stacey, get on it, and I start to like grind along, basically sort of the gaps between quantum realities, effectively.
Yeah, of which there are quite a few because the centipede.
Quite a few, and then for the number one might say,
"Yeah,
I'm sure that one of me is evil." Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Right. So I get a dice. Definitely attitude. So I'm going to bring in a dice for my attitude. My last dice for my Rift Ninja as well, as I use it to run along the walls of quantum realities. I'll spend my last kick as well on this one. So that is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's do it. 4.
Fantastic. You are indeed going to lead it on a merry dance. You are going to defeat it and leave it in a dimension. However, I'm going to actually give you a doom.
Okay, cool.
For this, not just a slam, because I think this is going to be, you're already hyper refracted in dimensions or hyper reflected. You were leading it a merry dance to that. You'd already implied that there were several Calebs around here. I think you lead it on a merry dance and come back. But the doom that you've got is the wrong Caleb. The wrong one has come back.
Nice.
I might throw it open to the other party of like, what's different? How do you know something is amiss here when Caleb comes back as the centipede disappears and reality sort of straightens around it?
The dope glasses are definitely missing. I noticed that straight away.
Maybe he's got glasses that say ePod.
Oh.
Yeah.
And maybe the like deck is different as well. A bit darker, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying this is evil Caleb who's come back.
Neither am I.
But we are clearly leaving that on the table as a possibility. Yeah.
He sort of superhero lands back in the alley and then stands up, sort of like wreathed in like sort of like the glow from the quantum fissure as well, in sort of silhouette.
That's not how Caleb's ever stood up before.
Looks great on the socials though, as I like live stream it.
It's like glint of red in the eye. It's probably just off the quantum fissure, right?
Yeah,
it's
cool
fine.
filter. Yeah,
I didn't know I had the evil filter on. That's cool. Halloween filter.
Brilliant. Yeah, so the wrong Caleb comes back, but you have defeated the quantum centipede. As you rush into the store, you can see indeed there is a crate of Tang-xiety Panic Energy drink, which you can load up on. As you do so, though, you notice that the crowds of Slugblasters that are arguing have now managed to make it up here. You can see some of the old guard are getting there as well. You're going to have to try and can you get your Tang-xiety back home and safe to null and complete the run. How we're going to do this is it's time for our disaster roll. So as before, it's as many free boxes of trouble you have. What we're going to do is we're going to all roll these. And then rather than it be a problem that you have now, we're going to then round off the session. When you get back, you've got your Tang-xiety, everyone's happy. We're just going to fold that into the little vignette that you do at the end where we show your characters sort of relaxing after the run. So you're going to escape by the skin of your teeth, but depending on how you roll, this might be what happens. So go ahead and roll each of you.
5 for me.
6 for me.
If I drink one of the things, does that get me an extra dice?
No. Nice try, but
5.
All 4 or 5. So all of you are going to avoid disaster, but you all mark an extra trouble, and you're all going to have maybe a bit of a mixed scene to end this, where maybe some of the things that have happened in this come back to bite you. So we see a quick montage again of you racing out of the mall, back down, evading the old guard, who are much faster now. They're not slowed down, and the many Slugblaster teams that are there, including one group of a younger crew with lots of really, they're really babyish stickers that are on, but they do look quite good actually. The way they've styled it out, annoyingly, it looks pretty cool. That the rest of you think you're able to get through that, maybe grabbing some boiled sweets on the way, to get through those and pop back into Hillview. No, you've got your crate of Tang-xiety. Everyone in Hillview is going to want a taste of this, but you can also feast on it. You've successfully completed the run and got back. You are once again legendary Slugblasters. As we finish off the run, though, as we lead into the next downtime, wait for another day. Let's just have a little scene of you relaxing. Based on your roll, you all got avoiding disaster, but not without some trouble. So let's see what final scene we get of each character as we bid them farewell. Starting with you, Ian, what do we see of Caleb?
Caleb is really muted. He's just in his room. It's tidier than it was previously. He's really done a job in it. He's sitting at his laptop, and there's a little mirror just to the side, like a little shaving mirror kind of thing. And you can see the computer sort of reflected in the computer. And he types a message on the computer. It just says, "I'm in." And like in the mirror, you see like the keyboard being typed on, but only in the mirror. And it puts up a reply, says, "Excellent, proceed to objective."
Lovely. Fantastic. Becky, what do we see of Steg?
I think probably I have like somewhere to practice in my garden. I've got very supportive mums, and I am going to try and do that trick that I did, and see how it goes, and like set up all my recording equipment and stuff. And this time I like absolutely nail it, really pull it off. Unfortunately, just as I'm about to land it, my little sister comes out going, "Stickers! Where are my stickers?" And like the whole thing is ruined.
Yeah, you can't show that on socials, can you? It's just so embarrassing. Finally, what do we see of Billy?
So this is a few days later, and out we see the camera outside of Billy's house, and Uncle Mike's car's there again. And on the coffee table, and you can just sort of see it's a view from above with lots of adult sort of knees and hands crossed on knees, and Billy sat there, and there's just a copy of the Slugblaster Monthly, and you can see the board being taken away from the downward pointing camera, and Billy stomp off, and then a little bit later there's a knock on Billy's door, and you see Uncle Mike, and he holds his hand out, and a particular Panic Energy drink is placed into his hand, and he hands the board back.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you guys for playing. Thanks to viewers at home for watching. And check out Slugblaster. It's a really good game. We've just done it in a quick one-shot, but you get to really see it shine in a short campaign of it. If you want to see more of it on the channel, let us know. If you want to see more of anything on the channel, let us know. Let us know in the comments what the best board trick you've done, or if you managed to pull off any of the ones that we've quoted in this session.
The real tricks.
But yeah, of course they are. Post a link in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe and share the word of our sessions. The best thing you can do for creators like us is spread the word so people can do this. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks for another amazing Unconventional GMs one-shot.